Hey, it's Mark Ferguson with Invest for More. We're back at the laundromat, gonna check quarters, the change machine, see how we did this week. And we did have some issues in the last week, so we'll see if those affected sales at all. Now, my change machine is working fully again. Some of you may have known last week the left side change hopper broke. We got it back, got it fixed. Everything seems to be good now, so that's good. Another issue, we had someone furious at us, I should say me, furious at me, because they called me on like Wednesday. It was really cold outside. They called me 15 times in a row. And that's a good way for me not to answer my phone or ever to call you back, and never left a message. So we have a Google number set up, and if they leave a message, a text, it goes right through to me. I can see an email, and that's how I figure out what is needed to be done. And we're very clear on our message to leave a text or a voicemail so we know what's going on. Well, they finally left a voicemail and said, your power's out, you need to come fix it, with a bunch of explicitives. Why don't you come fix your power? I can't do my laundry. And the power was out for like half of the town. And I didn't, I'm sorry, I can't fix the power company's issue. And the person apologized and said they're having a bad day. But anyway, our power was out for a few hours. So I went over there to make sure everything was okay. The heat was doing pretty good. It was still in the 60s because we've had some heat issues, but I think we fixed those. And while I was there, the power came back on and everything powered up okay, and I think we're good. So that could have affected us a little bit. Change machine should be all good now. It shouldn't be impacting us too much. Everything really should be fine. Now, over the weekend, I got the new hopper, and I set that up on Saturday. We only had one hopper working for a little while, but we didn't run out of any coins or anything like that. So, like I said, I think we're good. We've got our pop machine we added recently. It seems to be doing pretty decent. No one tried to put dollar coins in it this time, and we've been keeping it relatively full. And it takes dollars too, which is kind of nice. We just showed you the snack machine. It's been doing pretty decent as well. And then of course, we'll check out the soap machine here too. Now, at this laundromat, we had record sales 2 weeks ago. Over $2,500 for the week for the first time. Last week we had rough sales. Not awful, but below 2,000 and not the best we've been having. And this week I wasn't sure what was going to happen because we had kind of like, a few issues, the power going out. We collected $1,237 over the weekend from the change machine, which is good, but nowhere close to our record of $1,437. Then we counted up our money from the week. It was $769, so we had over $2,000 for the week, which is decent, but again, nowhere close to a record. So I was curious to see what would happen this week. I really wasn't sure. And soap machine was fine, but nowhere near a record either. Vending machine was pretty good. Pop machine, decent. So, of course, I fill all these up and get them all working right. And we're not showing that this time. Sometimes I show those, sometimes I don't. But we were doing an abbreviated version of the video this week. And we'll see how abbreviated it is. Here's the soap machine. Seeing how much is here. And of course we'll add this all up and put it in our chart at the end so you can see how much we made and how it did compared to the rest of the year plus I've owned this. This was the vending machine. So we'll see how it did. Not bad. And then we've got the soda slash pop slash Coke machine, whatever you want to call it. And the cash that came out of it. And I did remember not to count this in my other cash this time. A 5. I've never seen a 5 in there before. So just to remind myself, that was $14. I'll go back and watch this video and edit it. And then I know there's some dimes in there, and it spits out anything that's not a quarter, so we'll see. And also it spits out quarters if you make those jump out. So that's not bad. Like I said, we'll add those all up. We'll make sure the dimes go in the non-quarter box. And then we will check the machines to see what's in there. Now, I had a huge issue on Monday with one of my machines. The coin box wouldn't open. So it's one of my bigger machines up front. I put the key in, turned it, the key turned, but the box wouldn't open, and it got stuck, and I could not get the key out. So I actually had to take some vice grips and kind of maneuver it. I got the key out, but the whole lock just turned and turned and turned. Hey, that's not bad for our first box. And it would not open. It was just turning. I'm like, great, the lock is completely broken. We're gonna have to drill this thing out. So I came to the laundromat today and pretty much ready to, you know, drill out the coin box, or there's some different ways you can get them out. I won't discuss all of them here. Anyway, I'm like, well, I better try the key just to make sure. I got a screwdriver with me. Turned the key, it popped right open, it worked fine. Now once I opened it, I could see the screw that holds the lock in was extremely loose. So tighten that up, got it all tight, and it works fine now. So we'll show you that coin box here. So even the coin boxes tend to fix themselves. We talk about the washers and dryers fixing themselves, and yeah, even those. So that's the coin box again. Look at that, opens right up. And so that was a full week from that box. That wasn't emptied on Monday like the rest of my big machines. Make sure it gets in there all the way. I also had a lady, a regular, in here when I first came in. These are pretty good. This is more quarters than I thought there would be, actually. And she took me aside and is like, that lady just assaulted that guy before you got in here. I'm like, oh, okay. She's like, she punched him right in the face. I'm like, oh, geez. And so there was a lady and a guy in there kind of walking separately. I'm like, she's like, are your cameras working? I'm like, yeah. So I can go back and kind of look at my cameras. And of course, I wasn't able to get the playback working very well. Like, I'm sure I could, but I was a little short on time. And the lady's like, I'm work with law enforcement, so I'm obligated to tell you there was an assault that took place. Like, okay. So I looked back like a minute later, and the two were hugging, and it looked like they were in a relationship. So I never did find the assault, but it was kind of interesting, the stories and things that go on at the laundromat. Now these are pretty full as well. And I do have my one bucket taped to make sure I put them in the right bucket, but I'm pretty sure 98.67% of the time I have my boxes going in the right buckets. That's what I meant to say. We haven't had too many calls for problems here. I'm trying to think. I think someone said the snack machine took 50 cents from them. I don't even sell anything for 50 cents, so I don't think so. That was kind of weird. Maybe I do. And then that was it. Except for the power issue thing where the guy got really mad. If you want to get a hold of, I tell my wife this too, but if you want to get a hold of me, you text me. And calling me over and over again is not a good way to get a hold of me. But if you are going to call me over and over again, at least leave a voicemail, because then like it actually notifies my watch that I get a voicemail, so I know somebody's calling me. Because my phone is literally on silent all the time. I never turn on a sound unless I'm watching like a funny video or something. But yeah, I literally have a sign in my office that says, you know, lists like best ways to get a hold of me.
Thank you.
And it's email, text, DM, and then like number 99 is smoke signals, and number 100 is to call. So I am serious about the not getting a hold of me when calling. These are really full as well. These are great. I don't think we're going to break a record with these, because I don't think there's quite as much in my big machines as that record week we had. But there's quite a bit in these smaller machines this week. So it'll be interesting to see how much we have. The last washer. What I really should probably do is, when I have some spare time, go through all of my coin boxes and make sure the nuts and bolts are tight on them, just so I don't have any issues again. And if you saw my video yesterday, I had issues with my car wash at the other laundromat. My car wash coin tray, that's a totally different kind of system. I'm not sure what's going on there, and I still am not real sure how to fix that problem yet. Alright, so we'll see what we got. We're always kind of shooting for at least 3,000 quarters from the big washers, and we'll speed this up so that you don't have to watch the whole thing. But it's usually going to be a good week if we get over 3,000 quarters. And then we'll do the small washers too. We're getting up there. It's looking pretty good. I'm 95% sure that's going to be over 3,000. Oh yes. Now it's just a matter of how much over 3,000. A dime was in there somehow. I don't know how a dime got in there. Alright, now this is the smaller washers. 32.24, by the way, is pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Again, we sped this up. Sometimes I throw quarters everywhere. By the way, I had cleaned up pretty much all the quarters in the change machine when I switched out the hopper, and then I've already got them like everywhere in there again. Sorry. That coin on the right, the coin changer, or sorry, counter spit out, is a laundry token from another laundromat. And those, I don't think those should work. And I tried it in a couple of my machines and it didn't work, it spit it out. But I do have a couple of machines that, like, if you put a quarter in, it doesn't, I don't think the coin return works. So I wonder if someone put it in and they just donated it, I'm not sure. So we'll see how much we end up with here. Definitely going to be over 6,000, which is good. It's always way more fun to collect quarters and count them when there's more money in the machines. The records are really fun. If every week could be a record, that'd be amazing. But at some point we'd probably run out of room for people to do laundry, and that'd get tricky. Over 6,000. Rest of those quarters in there. This is a great week. $63.79. Plus that random token, which I can't do anything with. It has no value to me whatsoever. Alright, we'll check the dryers real quick, and then we'll count those up, and we'll see what our chart says we did. I was waiting forever. The people who were maybe or maybe not involved in assault were using a bunch of these dryers, but I swear it took them like 15 minutes to load their clothes into them, and I was kind of waiting for them to finish so I wasn't in their way collecting quarters while they're using the dryers, but after it took that long I was thinking maybe I should have just gotten in their way. They look pretty decent. It's a little dirty in here, as you can see in the floor. It snowed this week, so there's ice, and whenever that happens, it's just impossible to keep the floor clean. It's just going to be a mess no matter what. These are our smaller dryers. They're 30 pounders. The ones just to the left there are 35 pounders. This is looking pretty decent. It's always hard for me to tell how much money is in the dryers for some reason. I get much more excited about the washers. Yeah, not bad. Oh, sticky quarter. And one more. All right. Let's see what we've got. Oh, by the way, my leg is way, way better. I kind of partially tore a calf muscle. Then my knee swelled up like crazy. And couldn't really walk very well for a couple of weeks there. But now, I still notice it. I still am not going to run or jump for a while. But at least I'm walking almost normal. For the dryers, we want to get at least 2,000. That's our goal. Last week, we did not do it. I feel like it always stops. It stops every 1,000 quarters. Every time I lift the bucket to refill it, it stops. It just kills my efficiency. I have not found any silver quarters for quite a while. I think I found only two in this laundromat. I don't look super hard. Alright, we're creeping our way up there. I think we're definitely over 2,000. And judging from what was in the washers, we definitely should be over 2,000 because the washers had quite a bit. Will we get to 22? No, 21, 26. Pretty good still. All right, here's our chart. Maybe. Okay, there it goes. I've been struggling with my computer. I got super high power computer to handle my videos and different stuff, but oh, it's still being messed up. It's not super high powered enough apparently to run 47 things at once. Oh, come on. It was not. I did not see it doing this when I was watching it. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. Well, this gives you snapshots at different points in history of what the chart looks like if you're interested in that. There's a snapshot. Look at that beautiful snapshot in September. There was a really, really good week in November. Snapshot. And then we had an awful week there. December, Christmas. It was weird. Snapshot. And then we had our record 2 weeks ago. Then a bad week last week. And 2236, which is our fourth best week ever. So we had the two real peaks there, and then the one in December 2nd was just barely more, and then this is our fourth best week. So really good to see. Washers were really good. Dryers pretty good. We didn't have that much from vending either, so if we would have had a better vending week, we probably would have our third best week. So that's good to see. I was kind of worried we might have a bad week again, just with the things going on and the power being shut off, and didn't feel like there was much cash in the change machine. But overall, it turned out to be great, so that was good to see. All right, we'll be back next week. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully we can figure out the issues we had at the small laundromat. That video I posted yesterday, like I said. And of course, we'll have videos on the liquor store I'm buying next week. Buying another flip here soon. And all the other projects we're working on. There's a lot going on right now.